My name is Gabrielle Lure, and I will be critiquing the 2016 remake, The Magnificent Seven. Some of the famous actors are Denzel Washington, Chris Pratt, Ethan Hawke, Vincent D'Onofrio, Byung Hung Lee, Manuel Garcia Rulfo, Martin Sizemore, Haley Bennett, and Peter Sarsgaard. The Magnificent Seven storyline follows the town of Rose Creek, a peaceful farming village that's remote. It introduces the evil character of Bartholomew Bogue when he comes in and takes over the town by oppressing them with his hired guns in order that he can mine their valley for gold. Then one of the women, Emma, desperately rides into different villages trying to find men that will help and liberate the town. The film showcases the adventures of the ragtag team and the fate, ultimately, of Rose Creek. It is one adventure after another on the western frontier. I loved this film personally because the emotions were so pertinent in the well-developed characters of the film. The plot was very, very engaging as it followed the storyline of struggling for justice between good and evil. The movie really drew me in as a member of the audience because the characters were so well developed and the emotions were so raw in the film that I felt very connected and I felt like I was a part of the storyline. Some of the Western characteristics that the movie really stuck true to that I found very pertinent in the film was definitely the plot, first off. Themes in Westerns usually end up as a struggle between good and evil for justice, and this was very true in this film. This film showcased the struggle against power-hungry oppressors and trying to liberate and free the town of Rose Creek. Another way that it really fit into the Western genre was the use of landscape. The landscape was pivotal in a lot of scanning shots in the background to showcase the location and really add some authenticity to the film. In addition, there was cowboys, gunfights, the impossible odds that the heroes had to rise against, saloons, sheriffs. All of these things really added to the element, along with the dialogue type, to really make it feel like a true Western. This movie was very believable for me because usual Westerns feel very emotionally stiff, but they also feel to be not realistic. But I thought that this movie really added an element of realism and humanism to its characters. I thought the heroes were portrayed as humans with real fear, anxiety, and weaknesses. In this film, some of the heroes were actually injured and or killed, and I really felt that the addition of that made it feel like a real-life scenario instead of most of the Westerns where everybody walks away unscathed, and it feels just a little bit distant and not realistic. In addition, it felt very believable because the heroes actually made up a strategic defense mechanism in order to help defend the town, and I thought that that really added an element of realism to it. Emotionally, through the character development, I felt very deeply connected to these characters. The movie starts out with the slaughter of innocent people in the streets, and that really helps to draw in the audience right away. Right away, you feel pity for this town, and you feel hatred against Bogue and his men, and that really helps to develop the storyline further and to draw you in emotionally. The ideas of justice and revenge also really help to pull you emotionally into the film. You want to see the good guys win. Logically, this Western made sense. Instead of having 7 men take on all of Bogue and on all of his men, it actually showcased them training the farmers in order so that they could help even in a little bit in their little respects. I thought that looking for hired guns, the town looking for those hired guns to help them, really added an element of logic to the film. The camera work used close-up shots during battles in order to showcase the anxiety and fear and emotions really well of the characters. I'd also use the sweeping landscape in order to set the setting and really make it feel real. I recommend this movie because it really held true to the original aspects of a Western, but added realistic elements like I talked about. The redemptive storyline really helps showcase sacrificing oneself for the defense of the innocent. And I thought that the character development through their actions spoke louder than words ever could. Something that to think about going away from this film was if it had been made in a different era, would the result be different? Would the heroes have been stiff and less realistic? Thank you.